when he came in as a wild card and helped Soichiro Minamoto to the title with a P1 and a P2.
Management of the venue and of the competition looking on. You can't ask for more than 3 points separating the teams going into the final race of the season. Absolutely perfect.
That's it. 5 points separate P1 and P2. So it literally is winner takes all.
We will have an absentee from yesterday. There's a Danica Arons, but we'll talk about him in a while. Apiwat Wangtananon on the wild card for Yamaha TMP in P1. Anupab Sarmoon, third in the championship standings, 3 points off the lead in P2. Aldi Setri Mahendra, a very useful wild card in P3.
Yeah, Tonat Longpliao had a really good race yesterday, ended up fourth. Kazma Daniel was sixth in the end, but comes in leading this championship, and Adinanta Putra needs to keep its shiny side up today and go for a win. 2 points the difference between Kazia and Adinanta Putra. Kazma, the championship leader. Onto the third row of the grid. And again, there's good riders here. Look at this, Helmi Azman, Idemitsu Honda Racing Malaysia. He could pick up points and really hurt one or two people here, as could Fairozi Torikatula on Yamaha Racing Indonesia, as could Kip Karolid Pawi for Idemitsu Honda. This is, I keep saying, it's a very high quality 600 field. Yeah, we got some really good rookies on row 4. Kitsadar Tanachot for Honda Racing Thailand, Rocco Sessler for Team One for All, and Herjan Atner for Astra Honda.
Ryan Nugroho in P13, Yamaha Racing Indonesia, he's no slouch either. McKinley Kal Paz hasn't quite been able to make the step up on 600 for Hong Leong Yamaha. Sha Jun Tong for Victor Racing, Bike 22 is in P15.
And it's been a frustrating weekend so far for Shirafuddin Azman. He started from pole back in April, now he's starting from 16th. Jakrapat Pudisan, the number 20 for Honda Racing Thailand, starts next to him.
Sharifuddin Azman won back-to-back in the last round of races in Sepang in Malaysia. That was in October. We had to wait a couple of months before this finale, but gosh, it's built it up beautifully. Yesterday's result has set it up wonderfully. Yesterday's result saw the victory for Apiwat. Aldi Satya picking up 16 points. Anupab getting right back in the mix with 20. Adinanta crashed out, as we saw in the highlights, and Kazma finished with 10.
Yeah, absolutely perfect conditions out there. The flags are fluttering at the moment, but quite gently.
The stakes are high. The title is on the line. We are underway. Strong start from Kazma Daniel from the second row of the grid. Bike number 27 gets right on the back of bike 500. That's excellent from Kazma. From 5 into P3. He is contending.
And Apiwat Wangtananon converted his pole position into a whole shot. Now let's see who gets the advantage into turn 3. Kazma has a look. Determined start from Kazma. Tanat Longpliao having a go, but just running a little bit wide, getting his line quite right.
Kazma darts through. He's given himself a fighter's chance in the early stages. He is the man who is leading the championship, Kazma Daniel. Tanat is there. Anupab, of course, and 241. Apiwat will be heavily invested in this 12-lap race.
And the number 21 goes inside Anupab Sarmoon, number 500. Into turn 5 and 6. That is Adinanta Putra. He moves himself up into P4.
It was a sluggish start, but you don't win anything by getting a fast start.
Sorry, there's now a tie at the front of the field.
It is indeed. So there'd be a count back, just in case there's a count back. Adinanta Putra's got 3 wins so far this season. Kazma Daniel just 1. Anupab Sarmoon just 1. So if the scores are level, the countback would go in favour of Adinanta Putra. As they come through at the end of lap number 1 of 12, the screaming engines have Tanat from Kazma, from Apiwat, from Adinanta, Anupab, and Karolid Pawi is ahead of Aldi Satya.
who's not quite at the pace today, Aldi.
Once again, Happy Wong Tananon showed how good he is at getting an exit to turn 12 and out-dragged Kazma down into turn 1. He's now second behind Tanat, having a look up the inside.
The real race are the guys in 3, 4 and 5. Everything else is a distraction. The bikes we're looking for, 27, 21 and 500.
Harlan and Powie in 6th, ahead of Aldi Satya Mahendra.
Ooh, Adananta looks on the inside and is able to hold it from Kazma. And that means that would be 16 points ahead of 13, which have put them level.
Yeah, there we are. The live timing comes up again. Great work from the team.
Adananta moves ahead. Well, those live championship points will flicker up and down. Adananta Putra was a runner-up last year, don't forget. As they come through, Tanat Longpliao is the man who just leads the way, forces a little stand-up from Apiwat Montana. Adananta Putra for Astra Honda Racing in P3 leads the way. That will be 16 points ahead of 13 for Kazma, and look at the move being made by 500. Anupam Samu.
Getting a fantastic drive out of turn 12. He drags his Honda-mounted compatriot behind him, Tanat Longpliao. Adananta Putra just behind them in P3. Kazma behind him. Anupam behind him. Aldi moving up. He's now in P6. Waiting to see if we get a showing from the Mitsu Honda Racing Malaysia riders. And that's Kitsadar doing his long lap penalty for the incident at turn 12 that resulted in the injury of Reza Danica.
It's almost redundant to say where the incident was at this venue. Turn 12 it nearly always is.
The place is shaping up really nicely. Of wildcards and contenders, all mixing it up.
As it stands at the moment, Kazma Daniel would be picking up 13 points for 4th. Adananta Putra 16 points, and it would just be enough to edge him into the title. But look at that, Kazma just has a little glimpse to see if he can take a tighter line on turn 12. Adananta Putra goes past Tanat, and Tanat is able to hold off Kazma, or is he? He is indeed, and that could be a significant movement. Kazma didn't have the straight line pace to get the better of Tanat on the long straight.
Apiwat takes a look behind. Well, it's busy behind you. And here comes Adananta, showing his face at the front for the first time.
Satya decides to go inside Anupam Samu. Just to complicate matters, but very uncomplicated if it remains like this. Adananta Putra will take the title. Whoever wins that little battle of 3. Tanat able to still hold off Kazma Daniel. Kazma looks at turn 5. Wonders if he can squeeze through on the inside. He can't, but Aldi also has a little look on Kazma.
For all intents and purposes, Tanat is a wild card in this particular equation. Number 31, side to number 21.
Looking good for Astra Honda, looking good for Adananta Putra to put last season's runner-up position behind him and take a victory here, but I say looking good, we're barely a quarter of the way through the race. 241, Apiwat Wong Tananam, as you say, he's looking relaxed. He's not had a lot of fun in the Superbikes Championship this year, but he's having fun on his home circuit, leading the way. But the real story is what's going on behind him, and Adnan Pucha, Barry Russell, looks to be in really good nick, and his bike looks to be nicely set up.
He's doing what he needs to do, which is staying ahead of the championship contenders. However, it's not just as simple as following Apiwat to the checkered flag, as Tanat Lompliao is showing, because he's just taken a provisional 4 points away from him by sliding up the inside into turn 3.
Asma Daniel losing a place there as well. Again, that could be a problem. Aldi Sachi Mahendra.
You have to think that Aldi is going to make his way onto the podium again, given his quality. Yamaha Racing Indonesia have given him a really good bike this weekend.
Okay, in the race we can't ignore 1, 2, 3, but in actuality in the championship race we can ignore 1, 2, 3. The real battle is 4, 5 and 6. And as you can see, Adnan Anta and Kazma, yeah, you back count them, they've got identical records in terms of wins. If you then go on to second, Kazma's got 4 second places. But Adnan Anta does have 3 wins, so Adnan Anta on that count back would win.
Yeah, there's a sign I'm happy to see in a kind of perverse way. Reza Danica at our end looking on.
Looking out for his teammate, himself a champion last year, or 2 years ago, Reza Danica Arons, making the step up. Still 241 leads.
Yeah, Aldi now up into second. So that's 45 points in the hands of wildcards currently. And 16 points in the hands of Tanat, who's not a contender.
It really makes it complicated. 21 Adnan Anta. Well, he takes a nice tight line and is able to edge his way through.
Aldi going to lead them out of turn 3.
Adnan Anta 21 in P2. Again, his story. He finishes ahead of the other 2. And he will be champion. Ooh, Aldi somehow regained his balance.
Yeah, the 2 Indonesians getting very close and personal there. That's Ferozi Torokatula cruising back into pit lane. It seemed like a mechanical issue for the Indonesian class rookie. And at the front.
12 laps of the circuit is the race, 4.5 kilometers this circuit. We are approaching midway point. We're approaching now to turn 12. Adnan Anta has a 3-man lead. Man who's not really made a significant impact so far. Bike 500, Anupam Samu. Maybe he's just keeping his powder dry for the final quarter of the race as they come through. Adnan Anta Pucha is leading both in race and championship. Maybe not in the race.
Anupam and Kazma both further back than you would expect them to be, unless they have a plan, if they're preserving their tyres. Anta not leaving anything to chance, keeping himself up as close to the front as he can. Very nervous moment there.
And Kazma shoots through into P3. And Adnan Anta, Kazma's actually in P2. Adnan Anta lost out and Anupam's gone with Kazma. Is Anupam just stalking Kazma, Daniel?
Well, he could be. Let's take another look at this. That was nearly took Adnan Anta out onto the runoff area.
Hard in mile time for Adnan Anta Pucha. He has got time. We're only halfway through the race, but that was a scary moment for Adnan Anta, and it means that your new championship leader for now, just for now, is Kazma. But a change of positions between Anupam and Kazma, and that changes.
Yeah, he's got Aldi ahead of him, the wild card, taking the provisional 25 points. Kazma who's got his main rivals behind him. Here they come into turn 12. Aldi tries to go up the inside, and he makes it stick. Beautifully done by Aldi Sacha Mahendra. He leads Kazma Daniel across the line. Anupam Samoon. And there's a gap opening up back to Apiwat Tananon in P4 currently.
So Kazma would pick up 20 points. Anupam would pick up 16 if it remained the same. But Anupam, he goes around the outside, and there's an instantaneous change, and that would change the overall results. And Adananta is in that chasing pack, Barry Russell, and Adananta has problems.
Yeah, he's down in 6th after that incident 1 lap ago when he was pushed wide at turn 3. Now he needs to get on it because these two are opening up a gap. These 3 rather are opening up a gap. As Aldi Satcher leads them into the technical part of the circuit. They're through turn 6, going through the right-hand turn 7, and a visible gap there, which looks like about a second.
There's your new championship leader, Barry.
Anta is back up into 4th, so at the front of the group behind those front 3.
Still plenty of twists and turns to go, but Adananta, when he was pushed out, that's 1.5 laps ago that he was pushed out.
Yeah, he's really pushing hard now. He needs to keep his head together, not push too hard. He's already had 1 DNF.
Anupam fires through into the lead, or with a lead of 2/10 clear. Adananta Putra has got himself back up to P4. And he's just put in a really quick lap of 1:40.192. That's the fastest out there. But it's desperation stuff for him now. Tell you who's looking rapid out there is Anupam Samoon.
Yeah, he's looking to put Aldi between him and Kazma, himself and Kazma. Second back to now Tanat in P4, but basically Tanat and Adananta. 31 and 21. And the Indonesian Apiwat behind them, so he's faded.
This is a battle for 4th in the race itself. We've got 2 mental bits of arithmetic going on, the race itself and the championship points.
Adananta in real trouble now, running in 5th. Apiwat snapping in his heels. He's got Tanat in front of him. Two ties don't owe him anything, that's for sure. Still at the front. The path in P2.
Adananta is making a beeline to try to get on the inside of Tanat. It's not going to work. Time is running out for Adananta Putra. You can almost feel the mental work that he's having to do there. That mistake could well cost him the whole championship as he trails down in P5, Barry Russell.
Yeah, the gap is shrunk slightly on that last lap. But Anupam looking good, sitting pretty in P2 at the moment. Kazma just behind him.
Kazma's able to chase.
But that gap is closing up, Des.
What a championship. What a championship this is.
It's going to be one hell of a finale.
It already is.
Yeah, Tanat closing on Kazma. Adananta going with him.
Nervy look back there from Anupam Samoon.
There's a very naughty boy on the back of that group in the shape of Apiwat.
I'm wondering if Kazma's able to get closer to Anupam, or whether he's just trying to nurse his tyres, make sure he's in prime position for an attack on the last lap.
The exit to turn 6 once again proving crucial. Tanat having a look on the inside of Kazma.
And that would really complicate matters. As it stands at the moment, 171 points Anupam Samoon, 170 Kazma Daniel, 165 Adananta Putra, but that can change in a matter of corners. As they come through to turn 12, there'll be 2 laps to go when they finish here, and look at that. Kazma Daniel's been forced into P4, and Adananta Putra's come through as well. Kazma drops 2 places, Adananta goes up into P4.
was a dramatic run down into turn 12. Tanat's got himself back ahead of Adananta, who didn't get the best drive out of turn 12.
Your championship leader remains Anupam Sarmoon as it stands.
Anupam trying to get the race lead from Aldi.
And Apiwat is also coming back in just to complicate matters.
Yeah, he's doing something of a favour to his long-time friend ahead of him, giving Anupam a margin ahead of Adananta Putra. Came through so strongly, he's so determined to get this. It seems like it really is a win or bust effort from Adananta Putra. Kasma just fading a little bit at the back of this group of 6.
6 kilometres to go. Anupam Sarmoon at the moment, the title is in his grasp. Bike number 500 on his home circuit. He's doing it his way, the Anupam way. And he's got a bit of protection behind him with the 2 wild cards. That's exactly the scenario that Adananta and Kasma Daniel feared. The wild cards are getting in the way of Adananta making a real move on Anupam Sarmoon.
Apiwat's going to go past Aldi now up turn 12, and he's going to get the drive down. Aldi back into P3. Anupam in P1. Adananta P4.
Anupam leads the way. Adananta, it looks like the only man who has got an opportunity, but he's got to get past 2 before he can have a go at Anupam Sarmoon. For Anupam Sarmoon, this is the chance to come from nowhere, to make it a 45-point weekend, to take the title. But look at Adananta Putra!
Here he comes. He had the reigning champion and a world champion ahead of him, and he just got past them both to lead on to the straight run down into turn 4. Tanat Longpliao is through into second.
Adananta Putra is your new championship leader. What a move on the hairpin. And he's got a bit of time and he's got a bit of space, and now he's got the protection behind him of the wild cards.
What a move that was from Adananta. Oh, and down he goes again!
The title disappears. Adananta Putra, head in hands, cannot believe what he's done. He thought it secured it. Now it's a chance for Anupam Sarmoon. Anupam Sarmoon on 16 points.
Tanat Longpliao leading them down on the run to turn 12 with Aldi behind him. Then it's Anupam.
Right then, Anupam loses a place. Kasma Daniel tries to come through. Kasma can't get through. Anupam takes P3. 16 points for Anupam. 13 points for Kasma Daniel. And what that means to the championship, it's a tie between Anupam and Kasma. And they both won one race each. Kasma's won more second places. I think that's the count back. Adananta Putra in the dust. The win goes to Tanat Longpliao. I think the title belongs to Kasma Daniel.
Well, let's have that confirmed, Des. I know better than to question your mathematics. Yamaha are celebrating.
Kasma Daniel and Anupam level on points, level on race wins, second places. Kasma has got himself 4 second places. Anupam has got himself just 2. Whoa, that is